right, so today I've got a review for T-Mobile Home Internet. You probably already know about T-Mobile for their cell phone service. Turns out they're also starting to offer home internet, which I wasn't aware of until they reached out and said, hey, 30 bucks a month, $150 gift card, 14-day free trial. So I said, sure, we'll give it a try. We're less than half the price of what we're paying now for home internet, so might as well give it a shot. And so I got it earlier this week. I plugged it in, gave it a try, and had some thoughts. So I thought this would be a good video to make. So stick around and you'll see how it went. All right, so here's what it looks like. Pretty simple, power cord plus the router. No frills, easy to set up. It's got a handy little screen here that comes with it. I haven't seen this before, but you've got a couple options for what you're looking at. It tells you the signal, how many devices are connected, any messages that you've, I guess, received from T-Mobile that you might want to read, I guess, and then your language preference. So pretty cool, pretty handy. On the back side, it looks like you'd expect power cord, a couple hookups, power button. Simple, easy to set up. Directions are really simple, just a couple steps. Plug it in, place it near a window, which I wasn't prepared for, but did that here. Plug it in and download the app. QR code for the app, easy to download, get up and running. Thought it was actually really easy to change the password too. You know, these things come with a super long name and a super long password, and they prompt you right in the flow there to change that. So I thought that was pretty handy. So once you download the app, make sure you connect to your new Wi-Fi signal. It'll prompt you to change the name of the Wi-Fi, change the password, which I really like, and then you're off and running. Let me show you what the app looks like. So really simple, you know, shows you the quality of your connection. It shows you any devices that are connected to your Wi-Fi. You know, if you want to change anything about kind of the name of the account or the password, this is a nice and easy way to do it. But yeah, pretty simple. One thing I did find interesting though is the connection or the placement of the router isn't just quite as simple as picking any old window. Let me show you what I mean. So right now our connection is very good, which is, you know, great to see. Obviously it'd be nice to get that 5th bar, but very good, we'll take it. But there's actually a part of the flow here, which is pretty neat. I'll skip the intro video that it prompts you to watch because I already watched it. I'll save you the time. But it'll actually tell you where in your house is the best place to put the router. If I change direction, I'm facing the best way to place my router. Pretty neat. But the problem is, I like my router here. This is a good place for my router. So, was not expecting this. A little bit of a surprise to learn that there's actually a good and a bad place in your house to put your router. If you follow the yellow brick road here towards where that signal's coming from, apparently kind of southwest. The best place for me to put my router is in the bathroom. I don't have any outlets in the bathroom here. And I don't want it in the bathroom. It's gonna get wet, it's gonna get moist, it's gonna be just in an awkward place. So something to keep in mind, apparently there's a good and a bad place to put your router. One other thing I'll call out is it says that, you know, in the setup flow, it says that the height is actually important too. So as you can probably see out the window, we're on the 2nd floor here. So, you know, if you don't have a 2nd floor, it says put on top of a bookshelf or you know, some cabinet or something, put up high. So not only is there a correct direction or correct side of the house you should put it on, but apparently as high up as possible. All right, so let's talk internet speeds. I've put together what I hope is a pretty straightforward graphic here of the different testing that I did with the gateway in different rooms of my house. So this would be kind of each room I tested the gateway in based on the T-Mobile app. Here is where the signal is coming from. So this is the purple circles here, supposed to highlight the corner of the house that has the strongest T-Mobile signal according to the app. And then within each one of these red boxes here are the results I was getting when the gateway was plugged in that room. So when I was, for example, in this bottom left hand corner room here, when I had the gateway plugged in this room and I was standing on the same floor, I received 123 download, 26 upload speed. When I went upstairs, so when I went to the opposite floor, these were the download and upload speeds I got back. So did this in each room just as a test, just to understand, was a certain rooms better than others? Was the T-Mobile app kind of accurate? And what's interesting is I found that the room that I would have expected to be the highest performing, to get the best speeds, actually was one of the lower performing rooms. According to the T-Mobile's guidance, you should be putting the gateway as high up as possible and on the side of the house that's receiving the T-Mobile signal. But what I found was actually my first floor, right on the bottom right here, my first floor farthest away from the signal actually got some of the best scores. I actually had the gateway on the ground for these tests. So I think it's just a testament that if you are trying out T-Mobile home internet and you're not able to plug the router in on the quote-unquote correct side of the house, I think you might still be in okay shape. At least that was my experience. Would love to hear what other folks are seeing, but I think try to get it as close to that side. But if you can't, I think you might still see really good scores, which I did. So not the end of the world if you can't plug it in on that correct side. And these were all these tests were done within the same couple of hours. So maybe this was a certain kind of, depending on the time of day or depending on the day of the week. But yeah, it was really interesting to me that these scores didn't actually line up with what the app was telling me.
All right, well, there you have it. That was my experience with T-Mobile home internet. I thought there were some good things for sure. I think there's some room for improvement as well. So you've got really easy setup. I love that you can just plug it in wherever. I thought the app was really smooth, and they had a pretty nice interface for finding that best spot in your house. And when the connection was good, it was really good. So a lot to be happy with there. But for us and for my experience, again, thought there was some room for improvement. I purchased the T-Mobile home internet thinking, oh great, I've got a perfect spot for it, I'll plug it in right here. It turns out there's actually good and bad places to put it. I also was a little disappointed when I found out, this corner of the house where the bathroom is, that's the best spot for it. So that was a bit of a turn off. And then the poor connection when you're not on the same floor as the router. Obviously that's not ideal, and basically is a deal breaker for my wife and I. We work from home. Our offices are on 2 different floors of the house. So, pretty much a non-starter if one of us is going to have a bad internet connection. But I think, if you live in a smaller house or, 1,000 square foot apartment or something like that, or you don't work from home, this could be a really great solution for you. And, obviously results are going to vary depending on what part of the country you're in, where you're located. If you're high up in your apartment building, if you're on the first floor, that sort of thing. So wouldn't necessarily say no or thumbs down, but for my wife and I think it's a pretty obvious choice. We're going to stick with what we have. But if you've tried T-Mobile home internet and you've had a different experience, would love to hear from you. Definitely add a comment below and let us know how it went. But I think for us, obvious choice, stick with our current internet provider. Yeah, it stinks to pay double, but when you work from home, it's pretty critical that it's a good speed. So hopefully you found this helpful. Give it a like, leave a comment, and talk to you next time.